So this is me, Luca. I'm a security engineer in pre-sales for Cynet. And let's start with a few security news. So just for this week. So this is the first week in the year that we can say in less than a year, NIS 2, the new regulation from European Union regarding the cybersecurity, need to be deployed and will be effective by less than 1 year. So this is the year that we have to work on it. An interesting study that was released this week by Lloyd's regards what a proper cyber attack might produce in terms of economical damages to the world, and this is 3.5 trillion. So I struggled a little bit to see TN, that's trillion. So it's a huge impact, mainly we go back many years behind if this happened. Regarding breaches, this Okta is once again another breach that they received this year. This is very important because regarding the use case we're going to talk about is still regarding a user doing some bad activities, and this can lead to a full breach. But I would say that the number one news of the week is what happened to Cisco. Cisco has at the moment several tens of thousands of devices around the world that are fully compromised, with an additional user with the level of privilege 15, that is the highest level you can have on this network device. This network device is facing the internet, and we have tens of thousands of them that are managed by the attacker. And the funny thing for this CVA is that still we don't have the patches for this system. So you bought those devices, you paid quite a lot, but still you cannot deploy after several days any patch. But in the meantime, the hackers, they release their patch to the exploit of this vulnerability. So now it's even harder to understand which one are deployed or not, because are compromised or not, because they mainly are masquerading their compromission. So they were quite fast in providing version 2 of their hack. This is something that we will speak about probably also in the coming days. It's something very interesting. Last information I want to provide is regarding a cyber gang. The CLOP is a Russian cyber gang, and up to now, 2023 is almost to the end. It's, I would say, the most active, the one that retrieved more money from the breach. It was breaching the Move IT. It's a software that is mainly doing FTP, file transfer, but on the cloud. This vulnerability was exploited, and they did a lot of damages. They did a very standard data exfiltration, extortion. The way they used was very rude. They were just shaming, to the customer to retrieve as much money as possible in ransom. The side note is be careful in moving to the cloud, because also the cloud services can bring some vulnerabilities. So we have to pay attention, and a very good portion of these attacks might have been prevented if basic IT hygiene, basic security rule would have been observed. This was not the case. Funny thing about this vulnerability is that CLOP didn't find the vulnerability themselves. They purchased it for $250,000, but they made much more money out of it. So it was a very good investment for them. They took over 1,100 companies, impacting more or less 50 million of user records. And at the moment, the damages that they did, it's estimated in 10 billion. So companies had to spend 10 billion to recover from this damage overall. Vista. So Vista is the word that we use in Italian to say that you see everything. You have a good vista. You are very aware of what's happening, and this is what companies need to deploy, need to have in order to avoid all these breaches, all these damages. So visibility, a very good intelligence, very good services. It's not enough to have technologies. You also need to have some services. Technology also obviously need to be the latest one, and also automation, because we're facing so many events that the manual working on this security event is not enough anymore. You need to have some automation. This one that you see on the top right-hand side is the MITRE attack table. It's a sort of full book detailing all the stages that an attacker has to move on to complete a breach into a company, starting from the initial access to a dozen of steps. You see that each of the column have hundreds of tactic and technique listed. Let's focus the zoom that you see on the left side is only the first column. So let's focus on the 3 use cases regarding the initial access only. So the very first stage for an attack to a company. Whatever is the market that you are in, you always end up in the 3 top use cases. Whatever you're working in healthcare, you're working in industries, you're working in manufacturing, etc. Everything you're ending up in three use cases. We say in Italian, all roads lead to Rome, meaning that whatever you're starting from, you always want to get the initial access to a company to do all your next steps and breach the company. So the 3 main use cases are mass phishing, and we will see how we can we are seeing this rise in mass phishing. The work from home also, since the COVID period, working remotely is something that someone of the panelists this morning already said. The perimeter that you have to protect inside the company is not anymore inside the company. It's something that is completely changed. And also, we will see a little bit about insider threat. You can also have threats that are already inside your company. The massive phishing campaign has this type of business model, meaning that it's very easy to be very massively in the spread of these emails. There is also a new statistic regarding mobile devices. We are keen to click 10 times more on a bad link on our mobile device. It has several, brain implication. You feel it like yours. It's more secure. It's something personal, etc. So the phishing on the mobile devices is really on the rise as well. And you see that also if you get only 1% of victim interaction, you can move to the step forward. And also if you get only 1% of successful takeover, it's still a very productive business. Also if it started many years ago. Why is that? Why is on the rise? It's on the rise because the phishing itself is sold as a service, meaning that you can pay. I don't know if you can read on the right side, but you can few $100 and you get a full campaign specialized on the type of targets that you want for your campaign with very, very good content that will lead to a very good return. The second element that is making this campaign so on the rise, it's AI. It's helping in many stages of this type of attacks. The first one, the very simple one, is to generating very good text, meaning that if you ask someone to write a good text for a specific attack, probably a human won't be so correct as an AI generative language can be. So they can be very customized, produced in mass for every specific environment, and this leads to a very good success rate. Second case, the work from home. As I said, the protection is completely changed. So you're not protecting everything only on the firewall, but all your data, the company data, are together with every user in many devices, mobile devices, etc. So the protection has completely changed. Probably some family members have access to company data as well, and the company needs to provide this access to all the employees, to their home or to their roaming user, etc. And this company data is probably not only on company devices. So these are all aspects that are really leading to additional breaches. There are also some specific use cases regarding the work from home. There are a lot more malwares, very frequently that are installed also on, home computers or additional devices. These are some example of stealers, so malware that are exactly targeted to steal credentials, to steal information that the attackers need to go ahead with additional steps of this attack. All of this is leading to a ransomware attack at the end, probably. If you don't want to start from the stealers, but you want, just to get the data that you need for the company that you want to attack, you can just go to the marketplaces. There are plenty of marketplaces on the black market. It's something that you can access with the Tor browser, also with your mobile, just to let you know how easy it is to go in these markets that are illicit markets but still existing. And you choose what type of information you want, what type of company, and you can simply purchase your initial asset, your credentials on these dealers. And again, this is something that you can also buy as a service. Let's say $100 per month, and you will still have access for the whole month to the type of details that you want to access the company that you want to attack. Last one, the last use case is the insider. These are humans. It can be humans that are doing intentionally bad things, or they are doing some, unintentional action that leads to a breach at the end of the day. It's not only the case of someone that is the employee that he resigned, want to do some damages, steal some information, etc. Is not only the case. Another type of malicious insider is the one that you see on this message. This is an example from Lockbit. Lockbit is probably one of the most productive cyber gang in history. They are really doing a huge amount of breaches every year, and they are trying to enroll users, employees, and they are promising money. So if you find someone that is not, very well considering his company, and he can fall into this trap, and they are proposing money to have all the information that they need to provide this initial access to the company. So this is also a new way to enroll malicious insider. And then we have unintentional insider. Only this year, you see here, these are quite big name: Nvidia, Samsung, Microsoft, Uber. All these companies have been fully compromised. They have a lot of security system in place, but only because of some users doing malicious actions unintentionally, so doing bad things, they were completely compromised. So also the unintentional insider is really a major trap. Cynet is a cybersecurity company. What's the offering? What we can do to have this vista, to have this coverage of the information? First of all, we have the auto XDR portion. What we do is we implement natively many elements into a single pane of glass. Everything is done automatically, so to reduce at maximum the work that you need to do to have the visibility that you need and the detection capability that you need in one single platform. The additional element that we are adding is what we call security posture management. In terms of both cloud infrastructure risk and also SaaS application risk, we monitor what's the configuration that you're deploying in your infrastructure. By next year a little bit more, 2025, Gartner says that 99% of breaches in this element, infrastructure as a service, software as a service, will be a misconfiguration. So an admin doing some wrong configuration to the company systems. This is why we need this type of monitoring. The third one is an analytics, a place where you can mainly ingest all your logs and have
1 minute.
And have a single place, for everything. Any search you need, any dashboard you need, you can search it for here. Last element, technology element, is the protection of the mobile. You see on these stats that both iOS and Android are really on the rise in terms of CVE, or common vulnerability, each year. So it's something that you need to protect mainly from phishing and mobile access. And last one is services. As we said, we also need specific services, monitoring 24/7 what is happening in the infrastructure, having post-sales support that you are doing everything in the best practice, and also also a cyber threat intelligence service that it's an option that you can enroll to know if your credentials have been stolen and are exposed in the black market or not. So the full solution you can see is a quite breadth of solution. Last message I want to give is regarding MITRE. MITRE is a US company that is a no-profit company that is doing testing of company products every year. These are screenshots. You can go on the MITRE site and take the same screenshot. So it's not a Cynet screenshot. We score very well. If you come by our booth, we are just close by to the Crea Plus booth. You just come and we'll talk about how to interpret all this data, because these are very interesting. And you see Cynet on the right top side, because it was very good round of testing. And we also have many additional features that were mainly not tested by MITRE, but we need more time to talk about it. So this is how you get the vista overall of your infrastructure and you keep your company secure. That's it. Thank you.